Hello, everyone. Welcome to Moonlit Metaphysics, episode 12. Can we just applaud my consistency really quickly? That is crazy for me to do anything 12 times in a row. So, yay to me for that. But welcome to everyone. Come on in, come on in. Let's see. Okay, making sure I'm on the right chat. And tonight's going to be a fun one. Why is it so bright in my background? Oh, okay, I know why. That's okay. We'll leave it. We'll let it rock. So welcome. Come on in. Grab a seat. Chill out as we begin to dive into our very last episode of the year. These will be continuing, guys. They've been fun. At the end, or towards the end of this episode, we'll be doing a collective reading. So, got my cards out. Just giving some time for people to come on in before I begin talking your ears off. Hi, everybody. Ooh, this year's been crazy, bro. How is this year over? I'm not understanding the speeding up of time. It's weird. Let me get my mouse out of the way. All right, everybody. Hi and welcome to episode 12 of Moonlit Metaphysics. Wow. Okay, so this episode we are talking about closing cycles. Not only the end of this year, but the whole entire theme of next year. So we'll be talking about how closing cycles is the hot topic for 2025 and how to align to that energy. Yeah, Bronx Witch. Yeah, it's time is like ridiculously speeding up and I don't know what to do with it. I feel like it's like this weird juxtaposition where we're like not aging, but time is like speeding up around me. Like I don't know what's happening. It's crazy. 39? No, it's ridiculous. Um, Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for your support through the entire 24 as I kind of introduce this Moonlit Metaphysics journey. And you guys have come along for the ride, and I appreciate you. I appreciate that. Um, I'm excited for this last episode for the beginning of 2025. It's kind of weird. I'm like excited for this year. I want to get it going. Like I've been doing a lot of planning and introspection and taking these last 2 months of this year to figure out where my journey will be taking me for 2025. So I kind of wanted to create this episode um, on that topic to help you guys do the same, to help you guys navigate the energy that's coming up and to figure out what to do with yourselves. There's a lot of changes. Like, with that being said, within these last 2 months, I've actually gone through a lot of changes within the biz. And while they are not necessarily like out in the open yet, there's a lot of stuff going on in the background that is shifting and changing. So, like, things like the soul map reading is getting a facelift. Um, Things like, my different classes are completely vanishing. So I'm kind of like narrowing down and fine tuning things for 2025. So you'll see more of that as we move forward. But just like dropping that dime on you right now. Bronx Who says, right? I feel like I'm still 21 max. Max. Maybe 25, but like max. Okay, so this full moon, yeah, this full moon is, I don't want to say a crazy hectic one, but it has the propensity to be. So Sunday's full moon in Gemini is has a very big spotlight on communication. Really quickly before we get into the rest of this Moonlight Metaphysics episode, Gemini, all about adaptability, curiosity, but that's not without its challenges. You see, because we also have a Mars retrograde and Mercury retrograde amplifying this situation. Um, I think it's the last day of Mercury retrograde, but it still kind of carries on this shadow energy, so it's still affecting this full moon. It's gonna feel like kind of like a tug of war between wanting to act and feeling held back. That's that Mars retrograde kind of like amplifying the frustration. So there'll be lots of topics of communication this weekend and for like the week to come. Uh, how we deal with it is kind of like up to us. That's the special secret sauce here. Adding in that little spicy Mercury retrograde into the mix, and you'll just, it's just gonna have old wounds come up, some miscommunication in that. So while we would like be excited for a Gemini full moon because it's like fun, social, talkative communication, you can finally say that thing you've been holding on to with like, with precision. All that retrograde vibe kind of puts a funk on it. So just like be careful with that this weekend. Um, this full moon is going to ask for your patience, for your reflection, and for your internal expression and intentional expression. My bad. So you're going to want to use this time to release mental clutter, revisit past conversations with clarity. Like, was that? And stay grounded amidst any chaos that does end up coming up because it's happening. It's happening. Okay. So I just felt like I needed to get that out the way because I myself feel that energy. She's already in Gemini, the moon. She's already in Gemini, so it's already starting. Okay. We're in 2024. The year 2024 is a ridiculous year. Like I just have no other way to say it. It's full blown crazy. Um, Personally speaking, there is a lot of things that happened to me personally. Um, just tests and challenges, things that have happened to my loved ones, just tests and challenges, realignments, karmic lessons, things popping back up. So that was kind of the year. It was a year highlighting the theme of like power, like where you're holding power in your own life, who has power over you in your perceived notion, themes of abundance and mastery, like figuring out how to like make that money, like money and manifestation, and focusing on job and career was very highlight of 2024 for a lot of people, as it should have been, being a universal 8 year. A lot of challenges personally and collectively when it came to like reassessing relationships with authority, reassessing relationships with resources, like budgeting. We had to budget a lot this year, figure that out on a global scale. This number 8 is also related to like karmic lessons, right? Like I said, it's kind of like what goes around comes around. If you kind of lay that 8 down on its side, it turns into that infinity symbol with that notion of, back and forth. So this karmic vibe kind of permeated through 2024. We saw a lot of movements for justice, a lot of accountability actually gain momentum, as well as maybe not as much accountability as we would have wanted to see, but like it's starting, right? We definitely saw that play out more so in 2024, as well as like intense discussions around wealth distribution, and economic power dynamics, like literally the last week. Okay. Personally, globally, many have felt a call to step into their own ready to take action into their own hands. Actually, that reminds me of the Bronx Witch community creating the bunker space for spiritual entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs of all kinds, actually, but like taking the power into your own hands, be it whatever way, shape, or form that manifests in your life. Um, Redefining success on your own terms. Um, yeah. So that's just like a rehash of what we've been experiencing. And I kind of want you to reflect back because this is something that we don't often do. And this is actually kind of an important aspect of numerology when we take the moment to sit back and be like, was 2024 very eight to me? Did it feel eight-ish? And this is how we begin to kind of like create these patterns and notate how these energies affect us personally, but also globally. So we can notate, like, oh shit, yeah, Alexis did say that, and that thing happened, and that like is directly correlated to economic power struggles and wealth distribution, and like, very eight-ish. Okay, so just you know, reflecting on how you prioritized alignment, you prioritized your own power, um, you've prioritized how you kind of like take lead in different aspects of your life. Um, those are all themes that we saw. If you found any major life, anything that I just said right there to be one of the major life lessons of your year this year, drop it down in the chat. I want to know. I want to know how it resonated. But basically, it in this 2024 encouraged financial and personal empowerment. I know for me, it definitely did. I am so much more structured. I'm so much more structured in my business. Being a spiritual entrepreneur, it's not always the easiest having a streamlined business structure that works for you. So this year has definitely been the year where I've taken full account of all the things I've done prior, what works, what didn't, pivoted when I needed to, and applied that as necessary. So personally speaking, absolutely. I learned how to kind of like take more reins on my financial story. Yeah. The lessons learned this year are hard to list. There are so many. Yeah. Yeah. Bro, it's a crazy year. It's just a year of karmic lessons. And karmic lessons always has a way of gut punching us, because it's like, I've been talking to you for 8 years about this thing, and now it comes back around full circle. You have to learn your lesson because we're about to step into a 9 year, and you cannot take that BS with you into year 9. You can't, or you're going to repeat another 9 year cycle. Nobody wants that. We're not going back. Okay, so the manifestation energy and just the overall energetics for 2025 is universal year 9. So 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is going to add up to the number 9, which gives us universal year 9 for 2025. This energy is essentially bringing us closure, transformation, and opportunities to embody higher potential. Okay. Um, it's the last number of all root numbers. It's the number that encapsulates and embodies all other number characteristics before it. It's a number, it's a year like unlike any other. So if you could think back, when's the last 9 year, universal 9 year, and reflect on what happened in your life, let's figure that out. So I think that would be 2016 because I'm real slow. But so what was happening in that year for you, reflecting on what that universal energy kind of feels like, to refresh your memory because it's about to pop off again. Yeah, it It's a year that comes out at the end of the 9-year cycle, right? In numerology, we do 9-year cycles. This is true in universal years as it is in personal years. 9-year cycles, um, they're kind of like a journey. And at the end of the 9 year, it brings a certain type of resolution or accomplishment or fulfillment. Okay, so it's like the seeds you planted in year one, the things you're cultivating, the hard work you're doing in year four, et cetera, et cetera. You know, the introspection of year seven to like check yourself and make sure, pivot if necessary, blah, blah, blah. Year eight, you're manifesting. Year nine, it's over. Okay, so year nine is the number. The number itself is a selfless energy, and it's often reflected outward, focused outward on community and the greater good. It's a creative number, so it comes up with creative solutions to help the greater good. It's not necessarily concerned with monetary material gain, so that's not necessarily going to be a major focus of this year. That was last year, or 2024, right? So this is also an important year to consider your own growth and your own cycles of completion. Like, what have you achieved? What is it time to let go of? Again, reflect back. What has been going on the last 9 years? What have you, like, how are you different? How have you grown? I'm sure you have. Anything else that needs to be released that you didn't, that like didn't get the karmic kick in the ass in universal year 8, says goodbye in universal year 9. Okay, this is the year where we release people, habits, projects, works, commitments, traumas, emotional dependencies, released. They will be left in the past. It's time for a new era. This is the gateway to a new life. Every 9 years is a new life cycle, metaphorically speaking, right? Obviously. Okay, this is good. This is a good thing. I feel like sometimes people can be overwhelmed or afraid of change or of letting go. But the thing about the universal year 9 energy is that it assists us with this process, because what's kind of scary about change is that it's difficult, it's uncomfortable, sometimes painful, right? But the universal year 9 energy is kind of like a comforting wave that we can ride through these changes, through these moments of letting go, these dissolving of relationships, commitments, connections. Again, the universal year 9, or the number 9 in numerology, is a number of culmination, a number of compassion, of transformation. It represents the end of a cycle. It's preparing us for new beginnings. Okay, that's why I got my deck of cards out here, because we're gonna like dive into the universal guidance of where we can go, what we should, how we can focus our energies for these new beginnings. So also, okay, so checking your own personal growth cycles and your own 9 year transformation, right? The universal 9 year also calls for reflection on a global scale, resolution, release on a global scale. So the global impacts of a 9 year can bring about things like literal endings and transformations. So the endings of certain systems or structures or patterns that no longer serve humanity. We see them crumble. We're starting to see it already, guys. You know that. History has a way of repeating itself, 9 year cycles, and this is happening again. So the systems that don't work are ending. They're beginning to crumble. Why? Because in order to create something new, we must destroy the old. We must make space for that new thing to come in. So we're making room for progress. We should expect shifts in social norms, leaderships, and outdated ideologies. Even if we see a strong push now towards what many of us would consider outdated ideologies, trust that the universal energies are it's like the way things need to be brought up. Like you need to bring up that deep-seated wound that you have with your roommate in order for it to be healed and addressed, and for your roommate to stop doing that skanky shit that peeves you so much. We're bringing up these wounds for society, for the collective, in order for them to be seen, addressed, and healed. So we should be seeing these types of shifts happening throughout 2025. The number 9 is going to also amplify compassionate action within this year. So themes of unity, of empathy, of humanitarian efforts, that takes center stage more so this year. Movements towards collective healing, supporting vulnerable populations, we see that take center stage this year. It's just the 9 thing, which is very good because it's very needed. This is the energy that we need right now. Of course, there's challenges. So with completion energy, that also comes along with like certain types of reckonings, like the endings of some things. And like I said, the endings of things changing is uncomfortable or downright dangerous for groups of individuals on this planet. So we may face types of global situations like that, addressing like even environmental concerns, systemic inequalities, international tensions. Those things are going to, like I said, they're going to bubble up. They're going to bubble up because they need to come up to be healed. So we're going to see more of that stuff in 2025. So again, bringing it back to the personal level and how this is going to impact you, we or what you need to be doing with this energy, is releasing what no longer serves you. That's straight up and down. We've been kind of like been nudged at we need to drop for like the last few years. I would say probably since like a universal year or a personal year 7, or in our case, since we're doing universal years, universal year 7 also kind of highlighted things that we needed to focus on to highlight. It's an introspective year where we kind of check ourselves. Universal 8 brings karma, and 9 is like, look, I just can't no more. Like, it's done. So, this is literally the letting go of toxic relationships, the letting go of limited beliefs, the letting go of unfulfilling jobs. It's a time to, again, shed the old and make space for the new. So, if something has been weighing heavy on you, like it's not in alignment anymore and it's not comfortable and it's just, it feels like it's almost holding you back, time to let it go. Make action plans to move out that space, mentally, emotionally, energetically. Embrace that. I keep emphasizing this. I love me a change. I know I say that as an agent of change and a person who likes to see, who hates monotony, quite honestly. And I feel like I need change to like stimulate me. I know a lot of people personally around me and my family who just don't. They're not about that life. They don't like it. They like stability. So coming to terms with the fact that things are going to kind of come to a close in 2025 is important, especially if change makes you uncomfy. So as cycles begin to close, allow that change to happen. Healing and growth is going to come through endings. So lean into that discomfort because you're going to end up reaping rewards from that. And it sounds kind of funky, but like seriously, like there's a there's a method to this madness. There's a reason that these things are ending, and there's lessons to be learned from those endings, and so that you don't bring that into a new 9-year cycle. Also prioritize compassion and service. So this year is, since it's kind of like a humanitarian energy number, this year is going to focus on that kind of good vibes, of kindness energy, force of good in your own community, being that good that you want to see, that change that you want to see. The 9 year is going to challenge us to think beyond ourselves, to help others. A good year if you were interested in getting into volunteer work or any type of stuff like that. Definitely a good year to give back. A good year to focus on charity, donating, putting your energy into efforts like that. It's going to kind of like give a nice reverb. Yay, I'm so grateful. Yeah, we all need to kind of like embrace this message. It's I don't want to say this, but it's like so tacky. It's gonna get worse before it gets better. I don't like that. I don't like it, but it's sometimes true. Like the old wounds do need to come up, right? So what to look out for energetically? Again, these intense emotional energies. With closure comes these heightened emotions, old wounds, unresolved issues, right? These are gonna need to be resurfaced. They need to be resurfaced. So let's get ready because we're bigger now. We're more educated and we have the skill sets to make sure that we move through it wisely and with compassion, not only for others, but for ourselves. Okay. Also, the opportunity to tie up loose ends. So, anything that needs tying up, we're going to tie it up. This is the time to complete projects or goals that align with your purpose before moving forward into that 2026. That's crazy. I can't even, yeah, into the universal year one. Um, Time is flying. This is weird. The urge to simplify. You will also find out, like, okay, we're letting go. That also means too. So, chucking out all that old crap in your closet that is collecting dust, quite honestly, and you haven't seen for maybe about 3.5 years. You don't need it. Somebody else might need it. Donate it. Like, what are you doing with this stuff? Get rid of it to make space for new stuff to come because new stuff wants to come to you. Yeah, so minimalism. Emotionally, physically, spiritually is key, right? Clear clutter. Clearing clutter out of your life, out of your physical spaces, out of your mind. Get into the journal, the habit of journaling or brain dumping for 2025, as that's going to help you just move through the energies a little bit easier. It's going to feel lighter. It's going to make you feel better. Okay. So literally go clean out your closets and underneath your bed because I see it. I'm looking. How to respond to universal energy 9. Uh, like I said, journaling is going to be very helpful this year. It's going to help us reflect. It's going to help us kind of slow down and not like heavy duty meditation, asanas and like prayamanas. And you don't, it's more about like participating in things that is helping you release stuff. So helping you like the brain dump example, helping you toss out ideas in your head that is making your head just go crazy. Um, Doing actual release rituals like cord cutting spells or things like that. This is a good year for those types of stuff, those types of things. Um, but reflecting on what needs to be let go of just constantly so that you can just be in the habit of letting it go this year. Okay. Again, leaning into compassion, self care. Self care. It's not necessarily a self care year. Like, for example, in other words, the year's energy is not necessarily focused on you giving yourself like spa days. Okay. But you need to figure out how to build that in because this year's going to be emotionally heavy. Okay, I feel it. Like it's hard for me to breathe already. Besides the asthma. But like, so practice self-love and practice self-care rituals. Of course, the compassion, number 9 energy is compassion. So extending compassion and kindness to others. But this year ultimately is a year of love. Like 9 is a frequency energy of love, not only 6. So love on yourself because we're all gonna need it. Trust the process. Um, Everything that is happening this year is paving the way for growth. Everything that has been happening for the last few years has been paving the way for growth. And you just need to kind of like embrace that fact this year. This is kind of like the step out on a leap of faith. Did I say that right? I don't even think so. I think I combined, but you feel me. And do that and trust, and just have faith in what's to come, because that's definitely part of the energy this year. You're going to be left questioning things like, shit, that ended. Even things that you like wanted, they may end because they're not necessarily in alignment. Universal energy, creator source knows better, and it's just not in alignment for you, and it's going to come to a close if it needs to. So come to terms with that, accept that, and accept that it's making way for new growth again. Get aligned, get in alignment. That's another thing. Another thing for 2025, use tools that help you come back to alignment. Okay, things like numerology, astrology, um, even personality tests can help you navigate yourself in a way where you're like, oh shit, I'm not in alignment. Let me get back to the best version of myself. Any and all types of guidance, be it spiritual, therapy, these things are going to help you stay attuned to your energy, to kind of shut out the external emotional noise that may be happening globally or around your social circle, and just kind of help you more fine tune your direction for whatever it is you're trying to do for the year. Okay, so use your tools at your disposal. Um, let's get to this collective reading. I don't know how I want to do this. Let me see. Okay, so I got out my good old energy oracle cards. They're so old. I don't even, they're probably like a decade at this point. Okay, so tying up loose ends. So I want to pull a card for tying up loose ends. What do we need to kind of like finish up before we move into this 2025 year? Calling in this higher energy for the collective, asking this energy to be, okay, resonant and for the highest good of all. And whoever needs to hear this is going to hear it. Let me pick that card up. Okay, tying up ends. This guy jumped out, so we're going to talk about that. Attachment. What is it that you're attached to? What is it that you're attached to? Why? Why? There's an attachment that is not serving you, and you know what it is, and you're probably not sure exactly why, but I want you to sit and think about the why on that one, because that thing that you think you need, you don't, and it needs to be let go of before you step into 2025 or as you're moving into the new year. I'm going to pull another card for a loose end, tie up, wrap up. Okay, so we also get second chakra, Archangel Ariel energy if you subscribe. There's a lot of emotional stuff connected to this attachment. This is an emotional attachment. So we're checking ourselves, what we feel that, like, emotionally speaking, we need, or we like can't live. Like this is the kind of energy and that unhealthy attachment. So trying to pinpoint what we're so emotionally attached to that it's energetically draining us, that it's giving us sensibilities of low self-esteem even. These types of things need to be really addressed before we move on, because we're not about to step into this cycle of empowerment with that type of I was gonna say ball and chain, but that sounds very like situation specific. So, take that with a grain of salt. Um, where should we focus our energies for the first half of the month? Where should we focus our energies for the first half of the month? So there seems to be a particular, the temple path card comes up when there's a particular type of path that we're on, that we have our goals set on something that takes a couple of steps. Okay. Note the little orbs glowing around here. These are all kind of like go signals from the universe. This is your spirit team, your energetic spirit team, your divine guidance system, saying that you have a plan in your mind that you're trying to go for. And yes, stay on that path. You're on the right path to creating or manifesting this idea that you have. You're formulating the action plans for this idea in the beginning parts of this year. Damn, this is getting like personal. um, there's also a focus on healing any emotional. It might be still related to this thing right here, this attachment that we're emotionally connected to. But for the first half of the year, we're also focused on mending this essentially this broken heart, this emotional hurt that we are recovering from. Um, it's an indication to not jump into anything new. So for anybody single or looking or anything like that, or just recently getting out of a relationship, this is kind of like chill real quick, self-love, self-heal before we're giving our energy into a total, into a whole nother project or partnership or something like that. Second half of the year energy calls for us to hone in on our intuition. I literally pulled these two cards together. Second half of the year energy, this card being, no, sorry. Sixth chakra, third eye, Archangel Metatron. This card being the first one I pulled, and then following up with the deceit card, which is an indicator to me that there are some things that are not as they seem moving into the second half of the year. And it requires us to use our introspection and our intuitive know-how to figure out the game plan here. Because as things are not as they seem, it's going to be difficult for us to make moves um, based on surface, on external evidence, on what we're seeing happening around us. So trusting ourselves, trusting our own intuitive guidance, our own perception, our own perceptive insights, especially in the last half of the year, is our message for this. This is in regarding a topic that everybody has a hand in. There's going to be something that there's too many chefs in the kitchen. So coming into the second half of the year, if you're experiencing some type of partnership, collab, family thing, whatever that is, you feel like there's too many chefs in the kitchen. There's too much input and it's muddying the situation. And it kind of still all lays on your shoulders for some reason. Um, that is the indicator to follow your own guidance. Okay, the general, we're going to use my numerology cards for this one. The general theme for 2025, besides Universal Year 9 stuff, good old perseverance. It's just kind of the year that we're going to have to like stick it through, um, buck it up, stay strong to our boundaries. If we're letting it go, let it go. Don't reverb. Um, and also a year of healing. See, so like again, the universal year 9 is not necessarily about healing. It's definitely a compassion energy, but it's not focused on healing so much because it's such a giver. So we need to kind of focus on healing all across the board. Yes, giving to others, making sure that others have what they need, but also healing yourself, checking in with yourself consistently, emotionally, physically, and making sure that you're where you need to be. All right, guys. I hope that made sense. I was going to say, let me pull the last card, but then it also is health. So this is a paramount focus this year. Okay. Maybe this unhealthy attachment that you have to let go of is regarding your health. It could be. All right. So that's what I have for you for collective reading for 2025. Um, Again, a year to focus on letting things go, but also to remain consistent with your own healing practices and to trust in your own intuitive vibes, especially when you feel like things are getting too hectic, too chaotic, everyone's emotional, energetic about it, and nothing's getting done. And it still ends up, as a workload on your plate. Trust your intuition and follow that. Don't listen to anybody else. Do what you want. Okay, thank you guys. 2024 was crazy, and 2025 doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon. So prepare yourselves, get ready for the ending of a lot of things that don't align anymore because it is making space for a whole bunch of abundance and brand new that is in complete alignment to what you truly desire, what your soul's desires are for this particular lifetime. And that's the whole mother effing game plan. So let's talk about future things really quickly before we end, since a lot of things are kind of like ending and shifting for electric wellness, and I want to kind of keep you guys in the loop. So when it comes to the soul map reading, yeah, soul map reading is changing, guys. I think personally it's changing for the better. Okay. So the soul map reading is kind of going to integrate another service that I've previously had, the wealth code reading, and I'm going to be combining that because in reality, I'm looking at the same thing. I'm looking at your birth chart. It's just, it takes longer because there's a lot more stuff to look at. But that's okay because I feel ultimately after doing these readings over the course of several years, the soul map reading I've been doing longer, I've kind of decided like it's natural. It needs to go with it. The information is cohesive and it's part of the process of truly uncovering yourself, knowing thyself, and uncovering what it is that your soul's trying to manifest for this lifetime. You kind of need to know the whole wealth code stuff too. So I'm combining that into the new soul map readings. It's a deeper, more holistic understanding of your entire birth chart. It's also going to give you a little bit more clarity on your partnerships because that's also kind of important because yes, we're an individual, but we heavily depend on relationships and partnerships with those around us. We're human. That's how we do things. So I kind of feel like I needed to put that in there too. So that's going in the soul map. It's basically an enhanced experience. So you can expect that for the soul map sessions in 2025. And they're just more they're more curated to help you just truly step into a more aligned life. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm trying to do for you. I'm trying to help you get aligned so you can manifest. It's easier to, you're like, why can't I just manifest? Like, I don't want to do all that. It's easier to manifest. You will manifest faster when you're aligned to your unique skill set, path, manifestation style, etc. Okay, that's the point here. Which brings me to the next thing, because I felt like that wasn't enough. I felt like people needed the next thing. So I gave you all your keys, the tool set, the life code hack to your life with the soul map. But then I just left y'all there. And I felt like, you need the tools to apply that information in a practical way. More so, you need the focus to kind of break patterns that are standing in the way of that soul map. Okay, because I can tell you, you're destined to manifest $1 billion and be a mega superstar. But that shit don't matter if you're blocked. If you're blocked the fuck up, if all your money blocks left and right, trust me. I know. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you are weighed down and burdened with unaligned thought processes, belief systems, ideologies, uh, actions, daily things you do every day, bro, it's not happening. It's just not. So I've created, or I'm creating, a brand new program. It's almost done. I'm so excited to reveal it. Uh, it's a program that's going to help people focus on anchoring their intentions and manifesting their particular dreams. Everybody has a unique thing they're trying to manifest as according to their soul map. Okay. The Manifestation Mastery Program is basically your ultimate guide to creating the life you desire. It's going to be a transformative course that's going to blend metaphysical practices, of course, mindset work, and actionable strategies to help you align with your goals, to overcome these energetic blocks, and to manifest with clarity and confidence. Okay. It's something that I've been developing for years because it's something that I've been developing for myself, straight up and down. So now that I've kind of like figured it out, I need to share it. Okay. It's designed to help you, to empower you at every step. Okay. A program that is perfect for anybody who's ready to manifest, like legitimately, like not to light a candle and like pray to God. No, we're not. We're taking action. We're taking action. Okay. If Universal Year 8 showed me anything, it showed me how to take strategic action towards manifestation. And that's essentially 2024 has culminated into this program for you. Okay. You're going to unlock your unique manifestation power and clear your money blocks for good. Like, I'm not even playing games anymore. We're doing this. It is a 3-month coaching program. If you want to learn more, details are coming. Like, my landing page is like brand new, so you're going to find that link in the description below, so you can get up in there and just submit your name and email so you can get up on that wait list. Okay, what the program is essentially, uh, we're gonna do like a money ritual where you dive into the soul map. So everybody gets a soul map, and if you've already had your soul map done, that's great because you get a discount on the program now. You're so lucky. But you dive into the aspects of your soul map that are specifically about manifestation and how that affects your life path. We talk about advanced manifestation techniques and tools, like things that the other influencers are talking about and trying to gatekeep. And then we create something that empowers you to stay in alignment moving forward. Okay. So if you feel stuck in your money story, like I have for years, if you feel stuck repeating the same patterns of scarcity, of self-doubt, like I did for years, if you're tired of just like trying to like do these manifestation techniques and follow these advices, these different pieces of advice from influencers that you kind of don't trust anyways, that don't necessarily resonate with you, but then you wonder why it doesn't work, that's because that's not your manifestation style. How can you manifest in a way that is not natural to you? It's not going to work. Um, so yeah, if you're ready to uncover the unconscious blocks that have been holding you back from abundance because you've bought a billion candles and said a million prayers and it doesn't work, this is your program. This is your program. So link down below to join, sign up for that wait list. And then I have another amazing, awesome thing coming up in 2024, 2025, which is my first retreat. So this is being planned as we speak, and I'm really excited to share the behind the scenes stuff about it coming soon. I'm not dropping any dime until we actually get into 2025. I'm holding those secrets close, but trust, they are amazing secrets. It's so amazing. I've literally been dreaming about this thing for years. So it has been years of culmination in my brain to make it like chef's kiss and transformative AF, because that's the point. Um, 2025 is the year of soul aligned manifestation. Holler back. Yes, 2024 was like manifesting, but no. We learned what we needed. We got the tool set, and now we're action plan straightforward. And I'm here to guide you for that. I'm really excited about that. If you do want a soul map reading, I'm the new version of it. I'm offering that all, to you guys for 15% off because you guys have been following me and watching these things for a whole entire year, and I love you for that. So if you soul map reading link is down below as well. If you sign up for that, just make sure you use the code ALIGN, ALIGN, for 15% off as a thank you for being part of this beautiful journey, this Moonlit Metaphysics journey with me this year. And as a thank you for you guys staying tuned with me moving forward. So thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. That's it, guys. Peace and love. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. I'll catch you in Universal Year 9. Bye.